All right, in this one, we're just going to look at drawing out Pascal's triangle to the fifth power. So this is really just drawing out the pattern, so this should be quite easy. Most of you probably don't have a whole lot of problem with this. But the most common error is not drawing out the top of this right. Normally people skip the first one or skip the second row. So you start off, remember, to the first power, because this is technically to the zero power, and anything to the zero power is 1. And then when you go to the first power, whatever these two terms are both going to be coefficients of 1, so that just gets you a 1 and a 1. And then from this point forward, the rest of it we can just do using the pattern. So on here you always start and stop with a 1, and then they get the numbers in between. You just take these two numbers that are on the left and on the right, combine them together, and you get the number underneath. So that's going to be a 2. So remember that the second number in represents your power. So we want to go to the fifth power, so we need to go until the second number is a 5. So again, on the next one here, we're going to start and stop with a 1, and this time we're going to have two numbers inside, so 1 and 2 gets you 3, 2 and 1 also gets you 3. That's the third power. Now we're going to the fourth power, start and stop with a 1. These two, and these two will get you your numbers. So 1 and 3 get you 4, 3 and 3 get you 6, 3 and 1 gets you 4. Then that was the fourth power. So now we are at the fifth power. This will be our answer. Start and stop with a 1. Combine, 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 combine. So this gets you a 5, a 1, a 5, a 10, a 10, a 5, and a 1. And this would be your fifth power. Okay, so that's Pascal's triangle. Okay. Now we have some time on this video, so let's go ahead and see if we can't expand out using Pascal's triangle here. This problem here we've got raised to the fifth power. So this is going to be a two-step problem because we have a number in this one. So we're going to have two steps. We're going to have to write it out and then simplify our algebra. So since it's to the fifth power, we know we're going to be using this row. And until you get good at this, it's probably a good idea to just write these coefficients out, spreading them out a little bit for yourself. And as you get better, you don't need to do that. Okay. So there we've got all those written out. Okay. And let me move this over a little bit for you. So now we're going to start with our first term here. Our first term's got to go up to the fifth power. So we start with an x to the fifth. Then the next term's going to be to the 4, to the 3, to the 2, to the 1. And then technically our last term is to the 0 power, but we don't need to write that in. Then we take the second term here and we work that one backwards. We're going to start at the 0 power and work our way up to the fifth power. So on this one here, we have 0 2's, then we have a single 2, then we have a 2 squared, then we have a 2 to the third, we have a 2 to the fourth, and our last term is going to be 2 to the fifth. Okay? And last thing we have to do is place our signs here. Since this is positive, we're going to be multiplying nothing but positive signs here. So I'll move this over. So all of these terms here are going to be positives. Okay, so plus, plus, and plus. Now, if this were just x and y, we'd be done. But because we have these 2's in here, we're going to need to multiply all these out and simplify these terms. So your first term here is 1x to the fifth, which you can choose to write the 1 or not. Next term is 5 times 2, which is 10. Mess that up. X to the fourth. Plus, this is 10 times 2 squared, so that's 4 times 10, which is 40, x to the third, plus this is 2 to the third, which is 8 times 10, which is 80, x squared. Then this is 2 to the fourth, which is 16 times 5, which coincidentally is also 80. Okay. X to the first, and then we end up with 2 to the fifth times 1, which gets you 32. Okay. And I think I'm going to leave the last one here for the next video.